Marker, a complete unknown review, guys. Get right to it. Action. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D, aka Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. You know what to do, ladies and gentlemen. Check out our movie reviews like this one or trailer reactions. And do not forget, subscribe. Hit that bell notification to get notified for our movie reviews like this one or trailer reactions. Whatever we got going on in the movie world. Big stuff's happening, guys. We'll be knocking these movie reviews out every week until the end of the year. We'll probably be knocking about like 4 or 5 movie reviews a week right now. So check it out, guys, and let us know in the comments down below, of course. What did y'all think of the films, of any films that we talk about here in the Movie Talk studio? But let's get right to it. Angela, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about another biopic.
Yeah.
I know you love those.
Yep.
This one is for one of the most iconic songwriters in history.
Yep.
And I know I personally can't name his songs right off the bat, but I know as we listen to it, we're like, you know what, recognize that.
Yeah, of course.
And you know, it's really cool to see how much impact he's had on the music industry.
Yeah,
in general,
even till this day.
Yep. And we aren't talking none other than A Complete Unknown.
A Complete Unknown, guys, tells of a story at the Newport Folk Festival in 1965. A young Bob Dylan shakes up his act on the folk music scene by going electric and searing rock as the voice of a generation, defining one of the most transformative moments in 20th century music. So one of the things I do want to say, guys, of course, this is a stacked cast. So I'm going to read the cast off of here because this cast is insane. Timothée Chalamet, Monica Barbeau, Scott McNeary, Elle Fanning, Edward Norton, and of course Dan Foger. I feel like this cast was casted appropriately. It was casted perfectly. I mean, everyone played their own role and everything, and I felt like it really brought life to the movie, brought life from the script to the page, a life from the pages to the film, to the camera rolling and everything. And of course, we're going to talk about Timothée Chalamet. Timothée Chalamet has been killing it this year, of course, with Dune Part 2, along with this movie.
And Wonka last year.
Yeah, Wonka last year. Here's the thing. Timothée Chalamet, the roles that he's been taking recently are just crazy good. And I feel like we talked about this off camera, was that he has this, like, they don't look the same. Like, it's just, we know it's the same person, but when it comes to like the acting chops of his skills, he's like the future Daniel Day-Lewis of our time. And he's really just brought us something different in every new character he's played in. Everything he's done, it's just so good, so grand. I mean, this is the same kid from Dune Part 2, but yet it totally two different characters.
And from Wonka? I mean, that's
and from
crazy.
Wonka, yeah.
I can't believe how
what you
far.
think of this?
Yeah, I can't believe how far he's come from
Yeah.
Call Me by Your Name.
First acting role, guys. If you do not know, I'm gonna tell you something. His first acting role was being the son of Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar.
Yes.
Fantastic movie.
Young.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan saw the talent, and that's it. He founded him. That's what I'm saying.
He's come so far from
Yeah.
that. But I think his breakout role was Call Me by Your Name.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and he's such a great actor. He has such a presence on camera that you just can't help but like be mesmerized, right? In all the roles he's done.
Yeah.
He's done so many different roles, and I just really think he has great acting chops. I think he has great potential to continue doing that. He has a promising career. I also loved seeing him against Edward Norton.
Yes.
And we
man.
love Edward Norton.
Edward Norton is
such
amazing.
A big resume. And to see them both on camera along with other greats, like I think Elle Fanning does a really great job.
He plays Pete and Sigur, and in their chemistry on camera is just so great. It's so grand. I mean, Edward just does this fantastic job as portraying this real life person, and Bob Dylan. It's crazy to me it's scary to me how Timothée Chalamet, they posted images of he looks like him. It's just so scary.
He does. And I think he did a really good job researching because he had that accent, that twang.
Yeah.
The way
yeah.
he had that accent. He did such a really great job portraying him. He looked so much like the hair. I know they did, the makeup and the wardrobe to it. But I think also he portrayed that character so well. Like, it's really, like you say, scary how much he looks like him.
Yeah, he does.
A young,
Yeah.
young Bob Dylan. I will say I loved seeing the rest of the cast too. I think it was such a really cool to see that, like, especially I think was it Boyd Holbrook played Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
So again, I think he looked a lot like him too.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's okay. I will. So as much as I feel like the actors and actresses did just a phenomenal job, I will say that the film itself wasn't as good as the performances we saw.
Yeah.
I felt like there were parts of the film dragged and maybe didn't have the best pace. I think it was like almost 2.5 hours. I feel like it definitely could have been shorter. Again, I think it's just maybe some of the story I think could have been taken out a little bit, or maybe other parts could have been edited, but I did feel it kind of drag a little bit for me.
Yeah, there's a few moments in here where it does drag a little bit, but one of the things I did not even know that I was very shocked at, I was like, holy smokes. I remember I was all like, wait, he's singing it ain't you, babe, it ain't me. And I was all like, what? And then come to find out, again, I didn't know, I'm not a music history major teacher professor, and some things I did not even know, that he actually had a great relationship with Johnny Cash, which is crazy. And I love how they really brought out like the bad side of Johnny Cash, because that's the way he was, and it was just like, well, that was so good. That was a gem, because the accuracy of the story, you gotta be accurate.
Yeah, you like Walk the Line.
Yeah, I love Walk the Line, Joaquin Phoenix and Walk the Line. But anyways, Bob Dylan, Timothy Chalamet does this great, even when he stands, he has this great stance as just playing the character, playing that person, and he just looked like him so much. Another thing too was that a lot of stuff that he was just embodying him in a way to where, like, man, the accent was accurate. I mean, everything was just so spot on with Timothy Chalamet. His performances, his musical performances were so good. I enjoyed a lot of that with him. And of course, a lot of things too that I didn't know they were pen pals was Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan. And I was like, cool. Wow, that was awesome. That's really cool. 60s. Yeah. And so at the coming of age story of the coming of music, really, when music was really just when no one really knew about folk music and it was coming up, he was the start of it. He was the start of the mainstream media and everything of it.
Yeah, he tried changing it too, like, because he tried to not kind of fit into like a certain genre. Yeah, he tried to kind of like,
and he got upset about that because they were and that's the thing too, is that we talked about this a while back, remember? And we were like, oh, well, it's so easy. I mean, that's not easy, but like, it's crazy because artists is now like Taylor Swift and other artists is like, they can do that transition from different genres, from country to pop.
Lady Gaga,
like it's just, but at the time, at that period, you were booed, you were neglected, all this stuff, from the folk music, from that clientele, from that audience, and so it really opened my eyes on that, and I was like, man, it was so crazy because he took risks that no one else would, and I love that. Especially they were like, get that electric guitar out of here, that's the devil.
I mean, he really didn't want to just be put into this one box, if you will, and I thought it was really cool to see him explore that. He played with the blues, blues artist, and he wanted to do the electric guitar, and he wanted to do more. He wanted to do his own version of, like, say folk music, like his own like twist on it. So I really appreciate him now more as an artist. I personally, if you were to tell me before seeing this film, name a Bob Dylan song, I probably couldn't. But there were a lot of songs we did recognize from this.
That were like, man.
And it was really cool to see the origin of that. It was also really cool to learn a little bit after, because we kind of looked into him a little bit more. He wrote all these songs for a lot of artists over the years. And he's still going strong today. He's in his 80s, but he's still got it. I know he's still making songs, and he's still, songs that are just living out. They're going to live after, of course, and they're just going to live on forever. Because I've heard these songs, even the soundtrack of other people covering them, but it's written by Bob Dylan, but it's sung by another person, another artist, and they're gonna remaster, they're gonna redo it, same thing like that. We've heard it so many different, like, sad movies. I've heard his music, so it's just like, it's there, it's out there. But a lot of stuff I didn't know. So again, like, we didn't know he's written over, like, what you said, 600 songs for 600 artists. So like, it's really cool to hear and
so cool,
learn that. And like I said, we're not really into history. Again, I know I'm probably offending people by saying I couldn't pick out a Bob Dylan song, but I'm so sorry. But we do recognize his songs, and it's really cool to see his story being told. Again, I wish the movie had a little bit better pacing, just so I could enjoy it more. But the performances, again, Timothy
Yes.
Chalamet, fantastic.
He's gonna get nominated for an Oscar,
Yeah,
guaranteed.
I
He is.
really
I
hope
could.
so.
I could also see Scott McNairy. Same, maybe. But
Elle
of course,
Fanning.
Elle Fanning. But of course, Edward Norton is definitely gonna get nominated.
I hope he does. Like I said, we love.
I feel like he is. And then of course, speaking of Walk the Line, the same director actually directed this movie, James Mangold, and he's done a lot of biopics. One of my favorites, of course, was a few years back, Ford versus Ferrari. He did that one. So that was a great movie. Walk the Line, the Wolverine. He was involved in all those movies. So it's like he's very known to do these biopics. He's very known to do these type of movies and everything. So I was very, very excited to see what's going to unravel here, what's going to unfold here from this director and everything, knowing that he's done past movies that are biopics, and this is his like genre, so to speak. He was executive producer in The Greatest Showman as well. So like we kind of knew, we're like, oh man, okay, sounds good. The music was really good. I feel like the music sounds were really good. I feel like it wasn't overbearing. I feel like it was very tuned into what to bring out the best of Bob Dylan songs at that time, at the risk that he was taking during that movement, during that folk movement, during the blues. And that's the cool thing, is that they didn't like blues music, his audience, but yet when he played it, it just captivated people and captured people, and they were like, that's the teenage music, that's the devil music. And I was like,
I think also his songs, I read that they were part of the civil rights
civil rights movement, yes,
and anti-war movement.
Yeah,
so I thought it was really cool that he was part of that history. Again, I really wish I'm not too much into history. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it was really cool to learn that. I think that's the whole point of biopics like this.
Yeah, of course. You learn something.
People who may not be familiar with that past get to learn about it now, and I think that's really special. And I really got to say, I really appreciate seeing this on, in the film.
Yeah, of course, most definitely, and we can't wait to see Timothy Chalamet do more projects, because man, this kid is just killing it, knocking it out of the park, playing all these different roles, and just bringing up a different career uplifting that I never saw that I could see in him.
He's so young, so he still has
he's got a lot
promising career ahead of him. Same thing with Elle Fanning, Edward Norton.
Yeah,
I think I'd love to see them in future works, and I'm
110% sure we'll see all of them once again in other movies and everything. But yeah, rating 1 out of 10 be the highest. Angela, want to give this rating?
That's hard, because I thought the film itself was okay, as much as we can go on and rave about the performances.
I thought the film was really good. I actually really enjoyed it.
Okay. Could have been better, but again, for me, I think a solid 6.5.
Wow.
I didn't love it. I didn't love the film, and as much as I loved seeing Timothy Chalamet on screen, Elle Fanning, all of them, the film really, really dragged for me in a lot of places, and that really brought it down. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry.
No.
But the music was spot on. The actors were great. It was just the pacing, and it really, really bothered me.
I'm going to do a solid 8. I really did enjoy this movie a lot. It's a solid, good film. Timothy Chalamet really keeps me entertained throughout the film and everything. Edwards does another great job, especially when he really has that tough accent, and it's really good. It just gets you pumped, because you get to see how the authenticity is there, and of course, not only that, but also the chemistry between Timothy and Edward is just so good. It's so great, and I just love seeing both of them on camera playing their characters and everything from script to to the film. It was really good. It was grand. I enjoyed Timothy Chalamet's his bad boy movements, his bad boy moments in here, moments that are just so good. A lot of smoking in here, man. He went full on smoking, in real life smoking. Again, I appreciate it. I appreciate the authenticity. He was knocking it out of the park with those cigarettes everywhere he went. Especially his acting of like his reactions to other people, like how he bounces off from extras to actual characters. It's just so good, and it just keeps me sucked in, knowing that it keeps me sucked in, because it's like I don't see him as the guy who's playing Dune, or I don't see him from Interstellar. Every character I see him in, he is that character. So I don't go back and be like, oh, that's the that's the guy. I don't see that. I see him playing this new character in a movie, and I appreciate him, and I appreciate that his work and everything. Like in Wonka, it's like, dude, I don't say this is the kid from Wonka. I say Wonka is Wonka. Like he's so good acting that he really can't. It's the same person, but he helps distinguish the roles.
Well, I think also like another one that comes to mind is like Johnny Depp. He's
Yeah,
done so
Johnny
many
Depp.
roles, and he's
Team Depp.
different. Team
Yeah.
Depp. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, Amber. Again, I think he just has such a great career ahead of him. He's done so much already. I hope he does so much more in the future.
Yeah.
So we can't wait to see all of everyone, Timothy, Elle, everyone else.
Yep.
In theaters, in future projects. We can't wait.
All right, guys. Question is for you guys. What did y'all think? Let us know in comments down below. What did y'all think of A Complete Unknown? And yeah, thank you guys. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. aka Ryan680.
I am Angela at that Kelly Ange.
This is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. You know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, and see you at the movies. Latest.